Hey, thank you so much for downloading the episode. On the show today, I talk about how uncomfortable I am celebrating my birthday, somehow hairpin turning into a Lena Dunham bash, plus the dentist, and your H-Uglee and Awkward Moments of the week. Thank you so much. Shop loopandclip.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
What an ungrateful little bitch.
Paula?
I probably should get my hooch checked out first.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the ugly truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. It is episode 371.
We are Sisters Who podcast.
Yes, we are. Okay, I'm only going to say this one time, and then I don't want to discuss it for another year. All right?
Okay.
This show is dropping on my birthday.
Yes.
And Daryl's been trying to get me to do stuff all week. He's like, so I said, oh, yeah, I really like that or that. And he goes, would you like to go do that? I don't know. Maybe Wednesday? And I said, why? Why would we do it on Wednesday? He's like, I don't know, just for fun. You want to take the day off with me and go do something? I'm like, oh, God.
Well, what were your plans for your birthday?
I have no plans. I asked for a piece of carrot cake. That's it.
That's all?
That's all. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of celebrating my birthday. And it was funny. I was on Instagram yesterday, late night. I couldn't sleep. I'll tell you why in a minute. But Lena Dunham's birthday was 2 days ago. And She said, I've always been one of these people. And she takes it to the next level because she's such an attention whore. And so she's like, I've always felt this innate guilt about my birthday. I don't like to celebrate it. I've canceled many birthdays at the last minute, like parties where people have literally said, yeah, let's have a birthday party, where she's canceled after caterers had been hired and, all this kind of crap where people are literally out money.
Why would she do that?
Because she's stupid and she's just a brat. And so she's like, this year I've decided I am happy. Damn it. I'm 32 and I am celebrating my birthday.
32?
Yes.
Oh my God.
How old do you think she was?
I want to throw up. I thought she was at least like 40 or something.
Oh, no, she just looks like she's 40. No, she's in her 30s. And I struggle with Lena Dunham because
I hate her.
To me, I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. Not a fan. I don't like her art. I barely got through the series Girls.
I didn't. I made it through maybe a couple episodes.
The first season was good, but after that, I started thinking, and listen, I'm not from New York. I don't know anything about where they live, but I started realizing there were no people of color. There was no variety. It was all just a bunch of white privileged bitches. And I'm like, what is this? Like, this can't be real New York. It's like when Friends came on and there was, Rachel was in the fashion industry and she didn't have even one gay friend. Like, there was nothing. It's like, this
I don't even
real.
think she had an education, to be honest.
I don't even know how she ended up where she ended up.
Well, it was a fictional show.
I know, but my point is that it didn't.
Yeah,
show
they all
any kind
ended
of
up.
reality.
They all ended up with these fantastic.
Right.
It was just stupid.
So Girls was a lot like that. After the first season, I went, God, I'm struggling to stay in the realm of this show because this is not what New York looks like. This isn't possible. It just doesn't work. And so I know they tried to punch it up towards the end where they had her sleeping with a black guy and all this stuff, but it felt very ridiculous.
What I struggled with is the fact that she was constantly naked and I just
yes,
her boobs look like dog noses. And
yeah, I agree with that. But you know what?
I'm not saying that, everybody who is on camera has to look beautiful. But I mean, she just truly gave zero fucks. And I'm just like, hey, if I'm going to be on camera, I'm going to at least try and suck in as I walk by or something like that.
She prided herself on poor lighting so that sex looked real. And I don't think that we need, we don't need to see that because we all have sex.
We know what sex looks like. And that's probably why we turn off the lights.
For many of us, yes. And so I'm like, But I have to say, if it wasn't for girls, we wouldn't have Adam Driver, who was literally the best thing that came out of that show.
That is true. God, Kylo Ren.
Oh, I just love Adam Driver and everything he does. He's so good. He's such a good actor.
I love his roots. I love that he was a Marine. That is the hottest thing I think about him.
There's a lot of guys who have, a lot of men in the acting world who have roots in the hero work, whether it's the armed forces or police or fire department.
It's rare, but it happens, I guess.
Steve Buscemi was a fire department, he was a fireman.
Yeah, and you know what I love about that is he actually went into his old station after 9/11 and worked for like a week, and nobody knew.
No one knew. Mm-hmm.
Like that just, even his freak face, bubbly eyes, it just like, it makes him so hot to me.
It really does.
Actually, you know what's sadder? This is the worst part. He was married to his wife for 30 years and she just passed away like a year ago.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, so not only is he a hero, he doesn't brag about it, and he is loyal to his wife.
And he's famous. He's a fantastic actor, and I'm just like, and he's humble.
I know.
And he's friends with Adam Sandler, which, you know, to me, that's a kudos because I like Adam Sandler. I think he's a decent guy.
You know what? Let me tell you a side story about Adam Sandler before we move on to gush about Steve Buscemi and his bubble eyes.
I know what you're going to say, and it's going to make me cry.
No, it's not. What? How do you know?
I'll tell you a story about Adam Sandler after you tell me a story about Adam Sandler.
Okay, some people that I was not best friends with him, but I knew them well. Our children swam with their children in high school. Their son was basically born with cancer.
Okay.
And he went blind because he had it in his eyes. So he was able to swim competitively because we were able to like touch his head so he knew when to flip turn. And he was on the rec team that the kids swam on for years. And it was really cool. Then he went on to high school and he swam for the high school team. And it was a really cool thing. Well, he was not going to recover. And I think he passed away at the age of 20, 21. So he lived much longer than he was supposed to. They used to go to Tahoe. They went to Tahoe all the time. They had a cabin. They would do sledding and all kinds of cool stuff up there. Adam Sandler was at a place that they were at, and he was a big fan. Mm-hmm. Austin was a big fan of his. And so they said, oh my gosh, you know, he would love to meet you. So Adam, he spent hours with them, talked to him, kept in touch. Yeah, I mean, I get a little lump in my throat now, but he was super, super accommodating and just hung with them and was super happy to meet him and he had his kids with him. Mm-hmm. Really down to earth dude. And so I know people talk shit about Adam Sandler and his crappy movies. Personally, I always can find something in him I think are funny.
I love his movies. I don't even care.
I know. Well, it's you can tell they're having fun, and he only makes movies with his friends now. So like, how bad of a life can that be? You know, and Steve Buscemi, as you said, is one of them. But go ahead. What's your story?
So he did a Make-A-Wish with this little kid. I guess they hung out like the whole day. I don't know what they did. I don't know if he was like on set at a movie or if they were hanging out somewhere or they played basketball or they just did a bunch of fun stuff. Every year on that kid's birthday for like the rest of, you know, until he turned 18 or something like that. Mm-hmm. He called that kid on his birthday every year.
That is so sweet.
Can you believe that?
No. I mean, yes, I do believe it.
Like, who does that, though? There's deadbeat fathers that don't even call their kids on their birthdays.
No shit. No kidding.
But there's a celebrity that remembers to call a Make-A-Wish kid on his birthday.
Every year. Yeah, you know, the thing is that it just proves that there are people, regardless of their status or their fame, that are really good people. I mean, like, does Adam Sandler go around telling everybody that he calls his kid every year? Probably not. No, the kid is probably just over the moon.
You know how I found that out, actually, is when I worked for the TV station. One of the ladies we hired, she had worked for Make-A-Wish for like 15 years as a program director. So she would set up the wishes.
Okay.
She quit because she just says, you know, it gets to you after a while. You know, you just you can't do it anymore. And burnout. So, well, and it's just
emotional burnout.
You can only handle that for so long. I mean, yes, it's rewarding, but you know, you can only watch so many kids die, you know? I mean, that's what I don't understand how oncology doctors can do that. Like, that would be really rough.
I think because they are just driven to, you know, finding the cure, finding the remissions,
save patients or something like that. Especially like a pediatric oncologist. I mean, god damn, I could not think of anything worse. But anyways, so I don't even know how
Steve
we got on this
Buscemi is a hero, and we like him.
Kylo Ren, he's amazing.
Kylo Ren's hot.
I don't know who else there is. Well, I mean, Stipe from the UFC, he's a firefighter. And
yeah, there's a lot of them like that. So anyway, so my birthday, I'm not doing anything unless Daryl has something planned, which I have no idea. And
I'm sure you're going to get some sort of jewelry or something like that.
No, I'm not a big jewelry person as much as
now that you've
flowers.
got all your J-Lo earrings, so...
I do, and I love them.
What else are you going to get? I mean, Mariah Carey's, diamond encrusted
I'm not into
vagina
diamonds.
ring or
No, I'm not into
something.
diamonds as much as you are.
Oh my God. I didn't even
them.
read the article, but I barely saw the title, and the woman was complaining about how big her engagement ring was, and I'm just like, you fucking moron.
what?
You fucking moron. She was trying to get her fiance to trade it in for something a little smaller, and I'm just like, what is wrong
what?
with you?
Who is this person, and how did she...
I couldn't even read the article because I was
would've
so
been so
angry.
angry.
And he just says, but it's the ring you deserve. And that's what he kept telling her. And I'm just
Oh
like,
my
this has to be fictional. This absolutely has to be fictional.
There is no way. And not only that, but take the ring back and kick her to the curb, man.
Seriously, what is
What
she?
an ungrateful little bitch.
Is she some sort of like granola eating hiker that,
If she was a granola eating hiker, he never would have bought her a ring. He would have fashioned something out of hemp.
Yeah, just get her a little skinny gold band. And,
I'd be like, fine, here. Take your hemp ring.
Free climb up a hill and hopefully she falls off.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
I don't
Unacceptable.
understand.
That's so sweet, though, if that's true. If it's true.
No, that's not sweet at all. That's stupid.
No, him saying.
Oh.
No, saying
Yeah.
that this is the ring you deserve.
No,
I know there are a lot of women who are like,
glutton
there's
for punishment. Go to one of those dominatrix places in San Francisco and get your ass kicked.
There's a lot of women out there who are not a big fan of the big rock, whether it's a moral issue because they think small children are digging them up in the mines, or it's just garish or whatever. And I think they're in the minority, to be honest with you. But, I would think if you're proposing to one of those types of women, you would not be purchasing a large knuckle ring.
I mean, you can always not have them soldered and not wear the engagement ring all the time and just wear the band and then maybe wear the ring out like on special occasions.
I don't know. Oh my God, I'd wear that thing all the time. All the time.
Jamie, you do wear that thing all the time.
Oh, by the way, did you know that soldering is old school? No one does that anymore.
The only reason why you would solder is if like the band... it was like a completion to the set, like it clicked in somehow or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. I really think you've missed your calling, Paula. I really think that you should be working in the jewelry industry.
Well, I told you the gemology school's like in San Luis Obispo or something like that, and it takes like 4 years or 2 years or something like that. It's an on-campus school.
I bet that you can do a lot of that prereq shit here online. I almost guarantee it.
Well, I've decided I'm going to marry for money next time.
Yeah, you sound like Stephanie. She said the same thing. She goes, next time I'm marrying for money, she goes, mark my words. I will never marry for love again.
She got with Jerry when she was 24. What did she know?
She was marrying for love. That's what.
Okay. So, no, I'm going to marry for...
marry for money.
Marry for money. Love will come, I think.
You can grow affection for someone.
Right? I mean, I'm not marrying for, like, money, yes, but not age. Like, they can't be old.
Oh, you don't want to outlive them?
Well, I just don't want to. I don't want to.
You don't want to be a caretaker?
Person. No, I don't want them to have like liver spots and
well,
no hair
you know
and
what?
like tuck in t-shirts and
Oh my God, those cargo
have like
shorts.
high waisted jeans and.
Where was I? Oh God, I can't remember. I was somewhere and there was a gentleman standing at a counter, and I walked by him, and you know those hard leather shoes that small children wear, but they're like sandals and they have the rubber bottoms? Not Crocs, they were leather.
Saltwater shoes?
No,
or-
they're like adult salt. They have a closed toe.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
they're very popular. They were really popular long time ago, and they seem to be making a comeback. He was wearing pleated. Oh, I think we were up in Mendocino when I saw this. He was wearing like pleated khaki shorts and those sandals and a polo shirt.
That's not a bad look.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look to me. I didn't think it looked very good.
How old was he?
50-ish.
I mean, what
He looked like a giant toddler.
What kind of footwear would you expect him to wear?
Topsiders, I don't know, something a little more mature.
I mean, you want your underlings to breathe.
It was not a good look for him. And I just looked at him going, you have small children and your wife dressed you. That's all I can see. That's all I see. It's a very conservative look, and it was not, and first of all, nobody looks good in pleated shorts, first of all. Flat panel is the way to go. Pleated shorts are awful. And they're old school. Well, I mean, a long time ago, I just think of Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, you're right. I get that.
But, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't a good look. And I was like, wow, I've never been more unattracted to a man in my life looking at that.
Was he even good looking, though?
No.
Well, then that's why, Jamie.
Well, no, you know what? No, I take that back. He wouldn't scare me off the street. He had a dad bod, and he had his hair gelled well. He was cute. He's obviously cared for. There's a woman in his life. He's clearly cared for. But it just was so homogenized and so just, there was nothing sexual about this person to me. I mean, I was not sex. I can find a guy who's a dad who's clearly got a woman and family and all of that, and I can still think that he's attractive. I'm like, oh, I can see where, I can see that going somewhere if I was single or whatever. But I mean, do you do that? Do you look at men and go, I could do it? I do that all the time.
I don't know. I think I'm just too angry to really look at men, and I'm still in the phase of where I just don't notice. That's not true. We were somewhere the other day. It was Mother's Day. I forgot where we were. Maybe we were at the restaurant or something like that. And we heard like little Mexican music somewhere as we were walking by. And so I started like, dun, 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 and I was doing like a little dance.
Oh, by the way, Daryl says that's a UGG move.
Doing a little Mexican dance?
Yes. We were sitting there doing something. We were sitting at a restaurant or something doing something. I started doing this sway back and forth with my head staying still. And I was just looking at him deep in his eyes, and I was doing the move. He goes, by the way, that's a classic UGG move. And I'm like, what? He goes, even your mother does that. The little Mexican dance. The little Mexican dance. And I'm like, I had no idea. How hilarious. Anyway, so you were doing it.
So I was doing it, and I didn't realize there was a whole table full of Mexicans. And Victor's just like, he's all, they all were doing the lean back with their beer eyes just staring at you. And I'm just like, what can I say? I'm all Mexicans like me. I'm blonde hair and blue eyed.
And you're Mexican, and they can see it. Oh, man.
I don't know if they can see it or not.
Yes, they can.
I was trying to tell Olivia because we were listening to Selena in the bathroom when we were getting ready.
I love Selena.
And she was trying to do her Mexican dance, and I'm like, no, the key is you have to keep your torso perfectly still.
Yes.
And then you can only move your butt and your hips.
Only your hips. It's the washing machine.
And so I was showing her, and she's just like, that's really hard. I'm like, you have to practice.
Baila. Yes. It is. It isn't hard when you're older, though, and maybe she didn't get our, our level of jalapeno. But
well, she's just a flail right now. I mean,
yes,
my God.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I've seen some small children with a lot of us in them, and they've got the moves.
Well, they've just had parents instill them. I let my kids be free spirits, and they come up with all these crazy dance moves.
They're like we were when we were kids.
Yeah, they'll get it eventually.
They'll figure it out. They'll embrace their culture. Okay, so I don't even know how that got off the rails like that, but Lena Dunham is celebrating a birthday, everyone. So congratulations to her for embracing the attention that she so vastly needs and deserves. I, on the other hand, will have a slice of carrot cake and a glass of champagne and call it a day. That's it. And I don't begrudge people who celebrate their birthday. Adult people, I just find it a little silly, personally, to have a big party and presents and all that. I think it's weird. I think there's something weird about that. But I know people do it, and it's totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with going out to dinner with a bunch of friends or whatever, but just having the big, it's my birthday month, everyone.
That's the part I don't get, is people who claim a whole month or a whole week or anything like that.
I don't like it. I mean, I didn't even do that with my own children. It's like, it's your week. It's like, no, it's the day. I don't know. I mean, I cannot think of one situation where I'd find it appropriate to celebrate my birthday for a week or a month. It's weird. I don't know.
No,
I think I'm just mean. I don't think anyone's allowed anything good.
No, this is me. Anytime it comes close to my birthday, I secretly hope everyone forgets so I can be mad at them. And I don't know why. I do the same thing with Mother's Day. I always am secretly hoping that they all forget, and that way I can have like something to hold against them for the rest of their lives.
I don't know what it is about people, and us included, where when it comes to monumental days or funerals or weddings or births, everyone turns into a crazy person. I don't know what that is, including us. Like, I put so much effort into trying to ignore my birthday. I might as well just freaking celebrate it. Like, what does it matter? It's no big deal, you know?
But I don't want to celebrate getting old.
I really don't. But, you know, like I've told Dara, I'm like, look, the alternative is worse. So if I have to celebrate my birthday to keep you happy, fine, I will do it. But I don't want to look at it like that. I don't know. It's such a weird thing for me. As much as we enjoy the podcast, and doing it, I'm not a big fan of getting a lot of attention. And it's weird because you would think we love to showcase. We talk twice a week. You would think that we love the attention, but it's indirect though.
Well, like I've told you, I never listen to our shows because I don't want to hear myself. And I don't look at the numbers anymore, so I have no clue how many people actually listen.
Why? Why don't you even, you don't want to know?
I'm pretty okay not knowing, that's
fine.
It's not really like, a thing for me anymore. I'm just like,
right.
It's just a little hobby, I guess. And
it's not a little hobby. That's crazy. Why would you say that?
I don't know. It's not, I don't mean it's like a little hobby, and it's not just, I get on my bed and start knitting or something like that.
Well, let me just tell you, the amount of money and time that we put into this, it ain't a fucking hobby. Okay. It's like a part-time job. Here's the problem though. There was a time period, and unless you've been listening to since the very beginning, which I know most people haven't based on the numbers back then, there was a solid year where we were super inconsistent because of personal life. It wasn't a mess is not the right word. It was just, there was a lot going on. And so there was a time period where you might have done 3 shows in a year. I mean, it was really, really low.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Daryl and I both kind of agree that we don't even count that because the consistency has been probably 4 or 5 years. And we've changed the show so much as far as frequency and time, how long it is. We've added the little carnival. So
we started doing 2 shows because we only used to do 1.
Right. And so there's been a lot of adjustments for the better. And it's definitely improved. Our numbers are amazing considering that we're nobody. They're really, really good. We're super close to sponsorship level, which is amazing. People who actually want us to talk about their product. We're this close. We're so close. We've had agencies reach out to us before, but we just need a few more listeners.
Right.
More, and then we'll be there. And it's amazing because we were that close before, and then everybody readjusted what a listen is, a download.
I know, that sucked.
Yeah, we were really close. We had agencies reaching out to us back then. That was a few years ago. But when they readjusted what a listen or a download is, they changed the definition of it, and we had to start all over again. And now we're right back up to that again, which to me, I never thought we would. So, I mean, we're doing great considering that we aren't on a reality show. We weren't on the radio before, and we don't have a movie or anything. We're not stand-up comedians. We're nothing. And so, I'm really proud of what we do personally, and I think you are too. You're just trying to say.
Well, I've become a little bit more laid back about it, I guess. Initially I was pretty uptight about it and like all into it. But like you explained it to me so many years ago that it's a slow burn.
It is.
And so.
And we're doing it because we love
looking every day wasn't going to change anything. So.
Yes, that's true. I do get concerned though, and not as much now, but you burn through stuff really fast. For example, you used to be obsessed with the Kardashians and now you can't stand the sight of them.
I was?
Oh my God, Paula. You were obsessed. We used to talk about it. In fact, our listeners were like, please stop talking about the Kardashians.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
We hate the Kardashians. We're like, really? We love them. And so we stopped talking about it. And you're just like, no, I hate it now. I hate everything. And we're like,
well, I got oversaturated with them.
Oh my Lord. Literally. Okay, really quick. I went to the dentist yesterday. Now, I go to the dentist every 3 to 4 months because I have genetic gum disease and I freaking hate it, but it is what it is. I have all my teeth, so that's why I do it, because I don't want to get a bridge, but, you know, ultimately I may, but who knows. But right now, everything's good. So I have to go. The problem is I have super duper sensitive teeth, and so I have to have Novocaine completely. My whole mouth has to be numb, which is new. The last time I literally felt like I was being tortured. And so she said, let's do Novocaine next time. And I suggested, and she said, yes, absolutely. So this time I came in. But what's really cool of going every 3 to 4 months when you have gum disease is that the cleanings get easier, because all the buildup is gone because you go in all the time. So I went in, still got the full numb. Paula, my lower jaw does not numb at all with Novocaine anymore. And I don't know if that's an age thing or if it's just, you know, in my mind, I was blaming the hygienist for not doing it right. But
I thought Dr. Riak usually comes over and does it.
No, the hygienist can do it. And so she did it. And so she did the top and it totally numbed perfectly. She flew through the cleaning and then we did the lower part. And I was like, I can feel everything you're doing. And she's like, I can't believe this. I got 6 shots yesterday.
Didn't they just do the big one like they usually do?
The nerve block is something you actually have to have a dentist do. And he wasn't there. And so I didn't think I'd need it. And I didn't think I would need it. That's kind of excessive for this. But it's a deep cleaning. And so she's focusing on very specific areas. And so after a while, I started jerking around because I couldn't take the pain anymore. I said, what are we going to do? She's like, well, we're going to do it manually. And so she started using the scraping tool instead. And I mean, it takes longer, but she got it done. And it doesn't hurt.
Some people do it without Novocaine, you know?
A lot of people do it without Novocaine. I don't know how they do it. But then she told me, she's going through, she goes, you have very short roots. And I said, what? What does that even mean?
Yeah, really. Like, you say that like I'm supposed to know what that means.
It's like weak trees?
Yeah.
Like
you have short roots. You have black roots. Go get a hairstylist.
Actually, I love my hygienist. She's awesome. I actually encouraged her to get her mammogram, which was nice. So we had that going for us. But we bonded, totally bond. So she's like, she goes, that's a genetic thing. There's nothing you can do about that. And I said, well, what does it mean? Does it mean my teeth are going to fall out? She goes, no, it's just that they're short, which means they're not deeply rooted into your jaw. So, like, if I was to get punched in the mouth, they'd probably fall out. They'd probably punch them out. And I'm like, well, that's that's a good thing to know.
I guess that would discourage us from fighting.
Would it discourage me from getting punched in the mouth? For God's sake. Anyway, so it didn't last as long as I expected. We got through it quickly, but, you know.
That's what she said.
For real. So, I mean, it's just so funny how these visits are never not awkward. There's just nothing, you can't avoid it when you're laying down. And Paula, I pee all the time because I'm nervous. So it's like halfway through, I'm like, I'm sorry, can I use the restroom? She's like, yeah, sure. So I went to the bathroom and I came back.
I thought you meant in your pants. I'm like, so do I. I do that all the time.
No, although, I don't know if I told you this, Daryl and I went out for dinner the other night, and he has his new giant truck, and it doesn't have running boards yet, so you have to pull yourself up into the truck. And I had a bunch of water, and I'm like, well, I'll just pee when I get home, because I hate, you know. So I pulled myself up, and I was like, oh my God. And he goes, what? I go, I think I wet my pants. He's like, what? I said, I think I peed my pants. I was so embarrassed. I had to pee so bad.
Yeah, I did that the other night. I woke up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh, I've got to go pee really bad. And then I was just laying there thinking, like, you know, it just takes you a minute to like decide, do you really want to get up? But I knew I was going to have to get up, but I don't know why I was putting it off.
I hate it.
All of a sudden I started leaking urine. I'm like, well, I guess I better get up. And
you have like no Kegel at all?
Nothing, Jamie. There's nothing there. You know me. I'm tore up. And so I the next morning I told Olivia that I'm like, yeah, I almost wet my pants last night. And because we're totally roommates now. And she's like, I was wondering why your underwear were on the floor of the bathroom. So
God. You're like, well, that's why.
I'm like,
yeah. Well, anyway, so so we're just laying there, and you know, she'll say something like she was talking about how her bathroom's getting redone, and blah, blah, blah. And I said something. I was laying there going, like, I don't know what's worse, this or a mammogram. She goes, oh my God, I hate mammograms. And so we started talking about it, and she was afraid to go back because she had the same thing happen to her that happened to me, where they think they see something. So you have to go back for a second review, and you do the whole thing, and it's just a fluid filled cyst basically. And so I was telling her, I'm like, oh yeah, the same thing happened to me. She goes, did you start crying after they told you were safe, that you were good? And I said, I did. I wept. And I go, and the lady was so like overwhelmed with my face. She's like, oh my God. And she grabbed me and hugged me because I was clearly very upset and relieved. And so she goes, that happened to me too. She goes, I think everyone cries after that. And I said, I think you're right. I think there's a lot of tears that are shed in that office. No doubt. And I said, go get your mammogram, woman. Come on. Don't do that. I can't get a new hygienist. It's taken me a year to trust you. She's like, you're right. Okay,
really?
Fine.
Yeah, really?
Yes. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I may have saved someone from avoiding the ma'am. You've got to get one too, young lady.
Yeah, I know. Well, I just turned 40. I mean, my God.
Well, I know, but
I probably should get my hooch checked out first before anything else.
That is true. The snatch comes first.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've just got to figure all that out.
You will. Okay, really quick. I am with you on this subject that we're going to talk about, the hobby horsing.
Okay, not what you think, people.
It is not sexual at all, in fact. I heard about this when there was a documentary that came out on it called Hobby Horse Revolution.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
You can find it on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, you can stream it. It's an hour and 30 minutes of your life. I refuse to watch it. But I do have thoughts on this. I assume you have some thoughts on this?
I do. Okay, so I happened to come across an article on people.com, and they had an article about how in Finland,
yes,
girls basically who don't fit into typical activities like, sports or dancing or, whatever, cheerleading, whatever it might be.
Right.
They have basically created this community where they get, the stick horses, and they have taken it to like the next level. They have competitions where they run around, they do jumps, it's very physical. They have veterinarians that talk about like bloodlines and how to take care of your horse and, what breed it is, all of that kind of stuff. They have group activities. It's huge. It is literally a huge thing going on, and it started, from what I gather, in Finland. And so these girls, they all know each other, and I'm talking like hundreds of girls.
There are 10,000 people. There are 10,000 girls in Finland who participate in hobby horsing.
I was shocked. I had never heard of it before in my life, and from what I gather, it's not a super old activity. Maybe in the last 5 years or so, maybe.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody knows what a hobby horse is. Every little girl ends up with one in their room at some point or another in their life. In fact, Kenzie had one. It was the stick was white, and it was this big, beautiful stuffed horse head that was like purple with opal and the little reins and stuff. And they're cute. And I think those things have been around for, I would think forever, 1,000 years.
Oh, yeah.
But this thing, this new hobby.
Congregating of and creating of an activity of it, basically.
Yeah. I don't know how long it's been going on, but I think you're right. About 5 or 6 years is my guess. Maybe longer.
Right.
But before it became a thing where you go and compete.
They compete, yeah.
Yeah. Competitive hobby horsing. It says originates in Finland and has more than 10,000 active participants. Competitions have been seen repeatedly on mainstream media, earning coverage from networks and programs on ESPN and ABC and in publications like the Wall Street Journal. And now I saw that they are having hobby horse competitions at actual horse riding competitions. And there's a big one going on in July and again in September in the United States.
Where?
It's in the West or the East where English riding and stuff is a little more popular.
Okay.
But they have, it's like a side event I saw a lot of the pictures of the girls participating and boys too. They're clearly horse riders who are also participating in this.
I mean, but they're damn serious. Like,
it is not a joke.
It is not a joke. It is legit. And
it's more like an athletic competition, really.
It kind of is, but I would call it educational, but I mean, they're still not, they're still a toy, dare I say.
Yes.
I think what I loved the most about it is it's a niche for kids that don't necessarily fit in other activities. They find an acceptance in something that they all can participate in.
I am so glad you said that. I thought for sure you were going to talk shit about it.
No, not at all. I thought it was amazing.
That is so shocking. I don't know why I thought you would be like shitting on it, going, this is so lame.
No, not at all.
I was reading about it. I never thought it was lame either. I thought it was weird at first, but then when I started reading about this is a group of kids who they don't feel like they fit in anywhere. And a lot of these kids, they love horses, but they can't afford, because really horse riding and horse competition,
it's so expensive.
It's a rich man's game. It's like yachts. It's like sailing. You have to have money to do that.
Right.
But they said this is a great alternative for those who love horses, who want to be in that world, but can't afford it. Like I saw a picture of a kid, and this was last year in the United States. He had a noodle, and his parents had broken part of the noodle in half, or not broken it, but bent a little bit of the noodle in half, creating what looked like a little horse head. And then they tied a rope around it with little ears, and that was his horse, and he competed.
Aww.
And it was so cute. He was like 8.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking is this group of people, or this group of kids, I would gather they're probably between like 8 and maybe 14.
I think it goes up to 13, but they also put them based on height. So it's fair.
Yeah. I was just completely fascinated by this because I had never heard of it. And
well, I was reading the reviews about this documentary, The Hobby Horse Revolution, and some people were like, they're like, is this a mockumentary? Is this even real? I'm rolling my eyes, blah, blah, blah. It's like, who's making fun of us for watching this? The director or the people participating? But here's the way I look at it as well. This is one of the reasons why online gaming is so popular. Because there are a lot of people who are reclusive, super duper painfully shy, have a hard time making friends, and the comfort of online gaming where you're actually working towards a goal with other people is something that doesn't require, nobody gives a shit what you're wearing or what you look like, and you're participating through this commonality. And that's kind of the way I look at this, is that these are kids who are struggling. Or maybe not. Maybe they just really are obsessed with horses and they can't afford to do it. And this is their way of getting with other like-minded kids. I think it's great. Yeah. I really do. I think it's the same. It's kind of the same version of people who are really into D&D or any of those niche hobbies that nobody really gets unless you're a part of it. And I'm actually sometimes really jealous because of those people who find that commonality. Because I have my sisters. But I've never found a community where we all had one common goal, because I really tire of an obsession. I tire of things like that. Like when I went to Comic-Con, I didn't fit in there.
Yeah.
And I wish I really wanted to, but I just don't have that level of interest that those people that went did. And I'm very envious of that sometimes.
Well, I think, you were fortunate enough to have your cheerleading in high school. And so there was acceptance with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have obviously was discouraged from doing anything in school. So,
you think you would have been allowed to do this?
I was never allowed to do anything. None of us were able to experience college. And so we never got to join any kind of clubs or fraternities or, or not fraternities, sororities or anything of that nature. And then, because none of us played sports or anything like that, we didn't get to do golfing or tennis or, carry on any kind of softball or, like any kind of Parks and Rec league thing, to stay active, which a lot of people do after work. They do those things. When I joined that bowling league when I worked for my one company, that was seriously like the funnest thing I have ever done in my life. Like, it was so freaking fun.
What's great about being an adult is you get to do that. You can find those things now. No one's stopping you. I mean,
Right.
Anyone can. I'm
And
an
then
adult
when
and I
you-
do online gaming, and I absolutely love it.
So now
Absolutely
that,
love it.
you have kids, I mean, you put your kids in sports, assuming they like it. But I mean, and you meet parents, but it's just not the same. I mean, you can't live vicariously through your kids.
I think that's why adult softball leagues, adult baseball leagues, soccer league. I mean, masters swimming. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that adults can do so you can make up for the lack of ability when you're a kid. And I kind of look at it like that for these little hobby horse people is they are finding something. And, my guess is you grow out of this, but it probably helps develop some kind of confidence that they carry on through when they go to school or as they get older. I think it's really, I love it. At first I was like, this is dumb. Why would you and that was a couple of years ago when I was reading about it. But then I started reading it going, wait, who am I to say it's dumb? These kids are clearly they are all in on this.
Right.
And I don't see any parents meddling. I see parents letting them do this, like full on just standing back and going, yeah, I just had to buy the horse.
Well, they're probably happy that they found something that they like.
Exactly. And they're blossoming. All right, let's go ahead and do our H-Ugly and Awkward Moments of the week, the dental edition. I thought these were so funny, so I wanted to share them with you. Here's the first one. The dentist was saying suction to his assistant, and I heard suck, so I sucked on the finger that was in my mouth. He handled it well. That was probably 20 years ago, and I still want to die when I think about it.
Oh my God.
I can see that being a struggle. I remember one time I was in there getting a cavity filled. I was getting my root canal done or something. This was a couple years ago. And it was like a really early appointment. It was like 7 a.m. And I had a muscle relaxer, so I didn't really care if it was at 7 a.m. because I was so tired. So I was laying there, and he's working on my mouth, and all of a sudden I hear this. And he's like, oh, sorry, I guess the banana wasn't enough breakfast for me this morning. It was like my ear was right, like literally in his stomach area because he was leaning in doing something.
That's funny.
So funny. I love my dentist, actually. He's so great. Okay, here's the other one. This one's really funny. When I was 15, my dad took me to the dentist. The dental hygienist came out and asked me if I had any changes in my health or medications since I had last been there. I looked her straight in the eyes and said, yes, I now have chlamydia. I saw a look of horror on her face, and she said, honey, you don't need to disclose that. And my dad is crying with laughter at this point and said, I don't know what she has, but it's not that. We figured out a few minutes later I had confused the acne medication clindamycin with chlamydia.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How old was she, I wonder?
15. It said 15. I told you.
Oh my God, I would die. That is so freaking funny.
Well, actually, if one of my daughters said she had chlamydia, I'd be like, excuse me?
I'd be like, we are leaving right now.
How do you know you have chlamydia?
We have bigger fish to fry.
Forget the dentist.
We need to work on the southern region right now, apparently.
We got to talk about that snatch before we talk about your hatch.
And who are you dating?
You're like, wait a minute. Yeah. I thought that was those two were actually quite hysterical.
That is funny.
I was trying to think, what did we go off topic of? We were talking, I don't even know how we got on parenting, but.
I don't know how we got on half the shit we talked about today.
I don't either. I have no clue. So weird.
Schizophrenic today.
Always. All right, we have to say goodbye.
Everybody have a good rest of your week. We'll see you on Sunday.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.